Welcome to the show. I am back. James, thank you so much for doing the show last Tuesday. I do appreciate that.
Not a problem. I'd like to thank my buddy Tank for sitting in. We had a great time.
I saw
And I
it.
had my producer, Ringo, I should say.
Yep, I watched some of it. I did not watch all of it, but I did watch some of it, and you got some good comments too. A lot of people seem to have liked it. So, way to go, guys. We have new subscribers, D Bowen 1000. We've got Pete Geiger. We've got Chuck McCormick. Thank you so
Hello.
much for subscribing to the channel. Of
Check.
course, please like it. Please like the videos. Please subscribe. We do appreciate that so much. We really, really do. And we've got a lot coming on. So just some housekeeping for you. You can we are on Twitter, Mary Walter Radio on Twitter. I kind of try to use that pretty much everywhere for anything professional. You can get the audio of all of our podcasts on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And of course, all of them are on YouTube. Just go to Mary Walter Radio, look for that. If you're watching on YouTube right now, you know where to go. And it's under streams or live. I think it's under streams or live. I forgot which one it is. Which one is it? Hold on. Let me see which one it is. It's under, well, whichever. I'm not going to bring it up because we're going to I have something ready to go over on the YouTube side that we have to play. So I don't want to take a chance messing that up. And just some housekeeping. So Thursday, I will be in for David Webb on Sirius XM Patriot channel. That's 125 from 9 a.m. to noon. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, I will also be on. I'm in for Rich Zioli on PHT out of Philadelphia, 12:10 a.m. You can listen to it on the Odyssey app, or you can look for 12:10 a.m. and listen online. Or if you're in the Philly area, then you know where to find it. So Rich's show is 3 to 7 p.m.
Okay.
Yesterday, I worked noon to 3 for Todd Starnes, and then 3 to 7 for Rich Zioli. It was a crazy day.
Oh, that's a crazy day.
That was a crazy day. 7 hours already. I'm going to do 7 on Thursday. So that's my week. I was away, had a nice time. We're up at the Adirondacks with friends. James has been there, and it rained every single freaking day. Downpours,
no.
Tumultuous downpours, so bad. We had waves coming over the dock at least 3 days. We had waves coming over the dock. It was crazy. The upside to that was the wasp's nest that was built under the dock, I think, is gone.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was good. We had like a little bit of sun here and there. So I did have a bathing suit on 3 times out of 10 days. I had 3 times I've got to put a bathing suit on out of 10 days.
That's not bad.
We console ourselves by saying that a rainy day on vacation is still a better day, sunny day at home. It's kind of like when you're a bride and they tell you that if it rains on your wedding, it's good luck. Everybody's full of horse crap, but you know, they mean well.
Right. They do mean well. Hey, I got one for you. We just dropped another. I know it's been 1,000 years since I've had anything. We just dropped the new Saturday Beerstein Presents Vic's Basement Brewcast with our friends from Met.
Basement Brewcast. Now, where can people find Vic's Basement Brewcast?
Same thing as you. South Jersey, or Spotify, all the platforms. Apple.
Right, but that's what they look for. Is that what they look for?
Look up South Jersey Beer Scene. And that's the first one that comes up. Because there's a few under that banner. So if you look at South Jersey Beer Scene, you'll get this Vic's Basement Brewcast.
Great. Fantastic. Okay.
It was fun. We laughed, we giggled.
Good. Good. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, check it out. Definitely. I also wanted to just promote here. You know, our friend Pete. Pete's a big fan of the show. Pete sends me a ton of stuff. Pete also has a channel on YouTube, Brian and Pete Talk Scripture. So it's Brian and Pete, Brian, and Pete Talk Scripture. And it's interesting. I've watched it. I'm a subscriber, so go check them out as well. And of course, our friend Tony Schaefer has a channel as well. All right. Whoa, look at this. We got some comments. Let's bring our comments up. Oh, Libs of Reddit. Yay. Okay, so Libs of Reddit is a great account to follow on Twitter.
Okay.
Very funny. Libs of Reddit, because I'm not on Reddit, but he or she takes snapshots of the stuff on Reddit and then posts them. So all of us can read it. This is great.
That's funny.
And Libs of Reddit has subscribed. Thank you.
Hey, welcome.
Yeah, definitely look for Libs of Reddit on Twitter. They're fantastic. It's really an interesting thread, so I really like that. Okay, So, you know who's not here? Well, it's summer, but I kind of get concerned when some of our regulars drop off after what happened
Al.
with Al. I kind of get concerned.
Hmm.
So, our buddy Al disappeared, then we found out that Al passed away. So, that kind of made me really sad. So, I always get
Yeah.
concerned about you guys when I don't see you here. Like, where's Bill? Where's Pete? Like, it kind of, I get a little, you know. And James A, who was here all the time, he fell off the face of the planet. Nobody knows what happened to him. And he wasn't. He used to be in the Facebook group. He's not there. Nobody knows. Nobody knows where he is. Let's see. Rachel says, "Hey, Mary. Ashton loves saying hi to you as well. Ashton's the little baby. Yes, and Ringo's here. Yes, Libs of Reddit say thanks for the shout out. Of course, of course. So, okay, there is a lot to discuss. A lot going on. So let's get to it, shall we? And if you are on Getter, if you're watching on Getter, I will do my best to get your comments up on the air since they don't transfer over from Getter. So there's that. Okay. So tomorrow night are the debates, the first round of the GOP primary debates. It's crazy. This time next year, we're going to be in like full blown campaign mode, right? It's just a couple months out from the election. We still will not know the name of the guy who's the special counsel for Joe Biden's documents case. I don't even know his name. I'm sure he's not investigating a darn thing, but they'll make an announcement September 1st that it's too close to the election, so they'll have to wait till after the election. In the meantime, Trump is being indicted all over the place. But, you know, the whole Joe Biden did, you know, probably worse since he wasn't president. We'll get around to it. So they're not that nothing. And all of the possible charges against Hunter will be allowed to expire. Mark my words. That's my prediction. I could be wrong.
All right. I like to see how it works.
What do you think about Trump skipping the debate tomorrow night? And he has since said that he will not attend any of the debates. What do you think?
He's a bitch.
Why do you say that?
He's wimping out. He has a chance to go up there and, you know, answer some questions and tackle some hard ones that he knows are going to get thrown at him. And he's like, I'm 62% in the polls. I don't need to bother. But that doesn't seem like the manly choice. That seems like the political choice.
Well, in his politics, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's not, remember, he's not a politician, right? He should be going up there, guns blazing and all. Look, it shouldn't matter. He could go up there and say, hey, I hate all of you. I think you should die. And he'd just go up in the polls. So he should go out there and try and kick ass. That would be impressive. Him backing out seems like he's a little nervous.
So let me play devil's advocate with you because I have very mixed emotions about this whole thing.
Okay.
Trump not being there gives us the chance to really see the other candidates because he's going to suck all the air out of the room and it's going to be all about Trump. So him not being there, I get to learn more about Vivek Ramaswamy. I get to learn more about Tim Scott. I get to learn more about Nikki Haley. I get to find out who the hell Doug Burgum is. And, you know, I know who Asa Hutchins is, but really, you know, Chris Christie, I don't want to hear any more from you. Exit stage left for you. But it gives me a chance to find out more about the other candidates. I think that's a good thing, right?
I think skipping a debate does exactly what you're asking for. I think saying I'm going to none of the debates is not that. But I agree. I do think, especially that first debate, exactly what you said. He'd have sucked all the air out of the room. It would have been all about Trump, and we wouldn't have gotten what you're talking about, which is hearing more about these other candidates. You're 100% right. But I do think him showing up to some of the debates shows that he's not afraid of what's happening and he's willing to take on the hard questions.
I agree. And here's the thing. If he doesn't debate in the primaries, how can he possibly go after Joe Biden, who's going to run from the basement again? You know, they're going to tuck, especially after that Maui disaster, they're going to tuck Joe away. They're going to keep him from a microphone and Joe's running from the basement again. Which isn't really Joe running. It's the machine running, and he's just the empty vessel that they put up as their candidate. He's not running. He's not running the country now. Do you honestly think he's going to be running it in 4 years from now? He's not running anything. So Trump really can't go after him if he doesn't debate at all in the primaries.
Right. I mean, or maybe he's just taking one out of Biden's playbook, right? Because that worked really well for Biden the first time around. There was no hard questions. There was nothing to tackle. He didn't say anything stupid. He got to just skirt under and win. And maybe that's exactly the move Trump wants to go with. Don't tackle any hard questions. Don't have to worry about this. Say a few things to your fans and let the other guys fight it out.
But that doesn't work for Trump because the media covered for Biden. the media is going to go after Trump like he's the ailing gazelle at the edge of the watering hole. They are going to rip him apart. They cover for Biden. They run cover. They don't ask questions. They run cover for him. They lie for him. They're not going to do that for Trump. So it's going to be a different ball game. Trump's not going to get that. Trump's going to have to do twice as much, twice as good in order to get half the credit that Biden's going to get.
He doesn't vote. You said twice as good. He doesn't sound good. He doesn't sound good at these Trump at these rallies like he did when he was running last time. He doesn't have that kind of fire or that kind of funny timing. He's just repeating that same old sad message over and over again. It's like, man, you got to step it up.
I don't want him to. And Gregory here says, I've said that he should live tweet the event.
That'd be funny. But he's going to
be. He's going to be with Tucker though.
Right. Look at
it. Would have been hilarious.
That would be funny.
That would be hilarious. And he's not going to tweet. He'll go to Truth Social, and that would bring a ton of people over to Truth Social. So Gregory, that's actually genius.
Yeah.
I actually think that's and I'm going to use that tomorrow on the air. Thank you so much. I will give you credit, Greg. Okay. That would have been hilarious, but you know why he's doing it? Because Tucker and Trump have an axe to grind with Fox. So they want to take the audience away from Fox. That's what that's about. That's what it's about. Proving that we're worthy of watching, and it's not about you, it's about us. And because both of them have an axe to grind with Fox.
So Trump's willing to put away the bad things Tucker said about him just to bury Fox. Which that's real politicianship, by the way. That's real fun.
I don't think Trump, think about it. With the primaries, you rip each other apart, right? That's what you do. Kamala Harris taught us why Joe Biden's a racist in the primaries, right?
Yeah.
This is the picture of me, the little girl who wasn't allowed to ride the bus or whatever it was. She taught us why he's a racist. And then he picked her for his VP. You tear your opponents apart in the primaries. That's what it's about. You get personal. And if you can't handle it, don't do it. Don't do it.
He doesn't seem to have that. He doesn't seem to have that thing with journalists, though. Well, maybe he's made up with some journalists before. I don't know.
He has. I think it's for Trump. Trump, it's all about the mental chess match.
Yeah, I think he is fighting the game. No doubt.
He is. I mean, he's a negotiator. He's a strategist.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Oh, Porchview Farm. Hello, Porchview Farm. There is no point in having Trump there. Let the GOP candidates act like he is there.
Well, he's the shadow in the room, right? I mean, he's always the thing in the back of their mind. They're never going to be able to get past in the debate Trump on any level. At some point, he's going to be mentioned, talked about. Oh, yeah, he's definitely in the mix without being.
Yeah. So are you gonna partake of the debate or Tucker Carlson?
That's tough because I probably want to watch the debates. I am curious how these people lay out. I mean, I think they're all going to bury DeSantis. I think he's not going to debate well. I don't think he has a chance in the debates. I'm curious to see who is going to debate well. I think Nikki Haley might do well.
I think she will.
Well. Yeah. I think the only two I have a feeling will do well. I don't know enough about the others to know where they're going to land. So that's what makes me curious.
Porchview Farm says, I will watch Tucker over the debate. There you go. And hello, Mary. Hello. See, my thing is I'm doing a show Wednesday. The day after on Thursday, I'm doing a show from 9 to noon. So I have to pick one or the other. I can't watch them both and take, I can't record one, watch one, take notes on them. I can't do it all. And then after that, I'm doing a hit on a station in Chicago. And I will be doing an analysis of the debate. So they want me to watch the debate.
So, but my question is
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I keep doing this.
No. And then I'm doing Zioli's show from 3 to 7. So, and I'm not going to have time since, I only have 3 hours in between, but I'm also doing a hit in there and I'm trying to get ready. I'm not going to have time to watch Tucker's as well. I'm going to have to just get the highlights of that off of social media and I guess absorb it that way. It's the only way I'm going to be able to do it.
Right. My question is, what are Tucker and Trump doing live streaming? Are they doing like a Mystery Science 3000? They're going to sit back and kind of commentate on what the other things are doing?
No, this is an interview with Trump.
Oh, so they're just doing an interview. Oh, see, that's less interesting to me than those two mocking the system together. Like sitting there like Mr. Science Theater, sitting back and going, good job, Nikki Haley. You know what I mean? Like, or DeSantis, you
You're a
sound
liar.
stupid. Yeah, right. That's I would, if that's what they were doing, that's probably what I would watch, because I'd love to see the filter through them. But just an interview with them at the same time as the debates, I mean, that's kind of baller in its own way, but it's not interesting to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Trump and Tucker aren't going to say anything groundbreaking, but
right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Greg says Fox could set up an empty chair with a sign that reads Trump. Remember
That's
that?
funny. Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. I like that.
So it's going to be interesting. If he skips them all, I'm with you. I have a problem with it. He can't skip them all. I'm sorry. Yeah. He's got to do it, because he loses any kind of leverage over Biden and mocking Biden for not doing debates.
He's higher in the poll than he's ever been. Do you see that as a poll number? He's 62%.
I know. So what do you think? Poor Tree Farm. Yes, mystery debate 2023.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. That's what I wanted to see so bad. I would have paid to see that.
You're right. That is such a great idea.
Right?
I'm using that one tomorrow too. Okay, so why do you think that Trump's numbers keep going up?
My first theory is, as much as, again, as I said, there's things I think he needs to answer for, and there's things I think that are a little wishy-washy, but it was the Russia thing that ruined it all. There's not a Trump supporter in the world now that's going to give anything, whether it's valid or not, any credence. They are just going, Nope, he's our guy. This is how it's going to go. I don't care. Screw the justice system. That's where it's gotten to. And I don't know if that's healthy, but that's what's happening.
I think the other thing too, what did we just see with Hunter Biden? Right? I mean, we have 170 suspicious activity reports from banks on the Biden family. If you had one, it would have been investigated. But they didn't investigate any of them. They got squirreled away. Nobody knew about them. The Republicans had to, get subpoenas to find out about these things, right? So they're being protected in that way. We've got David Weiss, who was the one who protected Hunter and let the statute of limitations run out. He's been investigating Hunter for 5 years. BS. He's been investigating Hunter for 5 years. Come on.
It was not that hard to figure that out. Yeah.
No.
It's
so
uneven.
he's been slow walking it, protecting the Bidens by allowing the statute of limitations to run out on all these things. Anybody, I'm sorry, whether you're a Democrat, I have to crack my back, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, do you honestly think that if you didn't pay millions of dollars in taxes, that the government would have allowed the statute of limitations to expire on the charges? No.
Look,
Democrat or Republican, at this point, that's not a Democrat or Republican thing. That's about a holy crap, the IRS will nail you to the wall. They came after me for $11 after I graduated college because there was a math error. $11. But they're letting Hunter just slide? Come on.
Look, I'm with you. I think you should sink all the politicians. I would. These kind of things should just start, like, accountability should become really high. We are not in the best shape as a country. And I'm sure there's more corrupt things going on than just what happened with Trump or Biden, for that matter. I would like some real serious politicians to make a nice little turnaround here and start wiping these people out, getting this old guard of crazy people that have gazillions of dollars on taxpayer money.
But that's what Trump started to do. Trump started to drain the swamp, and look what happened. Look what they've done to him.
So I don't buy drain the swamp, but I get your point.
Look what's happening with Hunter. So then David Weiss was also one of the ones who helped negotiate this sweetheart deal that Hunter was going to be able to get immunity for everything, just immunity for everything they may come up with in the future that Hunter might have done. He gets blanketed. Who gets that? Who gets a get out of jail free pass, even for things that maybe we don't know yet that you did? Like, okay, so if Hunter committed murder and we find out about it, or sex trafficking of minors, if we find out about something like that, he just gets a free pass right now? David Weiss helped negotiate that for the government on the prosecution side. Now, because that whole deal fell apart and everyone's screaming about it, they're like, okay, we're going to appoint a special counsel to investigate. Who's the special counsel? David Weiss.
Yeah.
Now, I don't care whose side you're on.
What?
How do you not look at that and go, oh, yeah, that's corrupt? Okay, like that right there, that crap's got to end. Because you know, if it was you, you would not be getting that treatment. And these people who sit here and say, yeah, but I don't cheat on my taxes. Holy crap, not the point. That's not the point. The point is people who do are being protected. That's the point.
Hey, look, if you're a conspiracy theorist, you would just say that all of these people are just covering for each other, right? Because none of them want to open up that ship, right? It's easy to go after Trump because he's outside the system, but you know what Republican wants to go after Biden, knowing that there's probably a few of those over there that have protected their kids or done whatever. How did that Biden deal fall apart? Doesn't that seem fishy in itself? I mean,
no, the judge knew. The judge just sentenced someone a couple of months ago for the exact same crime that Hunter allegedly committed on his gun form. And she sentenced that guy to jail. So she asked a question, said, is this normal? Like, is this a deal? Like, is this how you would normally handle this? And blanket immunity? They just thought she was going to rubber stamp it and be on the way. But she actually read it and asked questions.
So maybe I'm missing what was. I know the deal was light, but what was really bad? Because in my mind, just give him a criminal record and rubber stamp that.
No,
for rich people, that's usually what happens.
No.
Okay, so
the part was the immunity, blanket immunity for anything, for any crime that he might have committed in the past.
I might have missed that little interesting detail. Oh.
And the judge was like, do you normally do this?
Yeah. Show me some other examples.
Right. And she had asked for some information, and it was the response from the prosecution was, well, she asked if there was still a continuing investigation, and they had to admit there was, because if they say there isn't, then they have to give Congress the papers that Congress is looking for, that they're stonewalling and saying, we can't give this to you because there's an ongoing investigation. So they were put on the hook by the judge when she asked, is there an ongoing investigation?
So, yeah.
So when they said yes, she's like, so there's an ongoing investigation, but you want to give him immunity. How does that work?
Right.
How do you give immunity while you're still investigating? And then it all crumbled.
You know what ruins so much of this for us? Why we can't have these? Why I never heard that. I don't remember that coming up. So that's pretty funny. I bet that was only talked about more on Fox or one of those other, or Newsmax, right? Wasn't it you who told me that Glenn Beck at a industry event kind of went into how it's our kind of people on either side who are kind of killing America because we're just dividing the country and making it so people can't have conversations pre-Trump. And
well, that's
he said that pre-Trump, right? Like almost if he could see the future, because we really are at a point where like you can't get a real liberal and a real conservative at this point to have a conversation, because both sides of their news are just flapping about what people want to hear.
Well, that's part of Cloward-Piven, the Cloward-Piven strategy and we talked about this before, from two professors at Columbia University, Barack Obama's alma mater. And it's also part of the Alinsky thing. If you can get everybody fighting against each other, no one's paying attention to what the government's doing. And part of what the government's doing is collapsing the economic system in this country. There's now one illegal immigrant brought into this country for every American born that we know of. That you can't have that, right? Yeah. So that's what's happening. Those people come into the country. They're never going to make enough money to pay taxes. Most of them work under the table, but yet they go to our hospitals for free. So they get medical treatment for free. Their kids go to our schools for free. Once they have a baby here, the baby qualifies for every single social program that we have. So you're adding all these people on, and you've got more people coming in and fewer people paying. Crash the economy. The government comes in and nationalizes everything and saves us from the problem that they've committed, right? They've created. So, but if they can get us fighting with each other, they divide and conquer. It's simple, and that's what they're doing. Okay, so the judge, Mary Ellen Noriega, they had already publicly disagreed about what immunity it offered if the president's son from potential additional criminal charges. Hunter Biden had written a statement about his desire to close a difficult chapter in his life and was planning to read it before news cameras outside the courthouse after entering his plea, according to people familiar with the matter. All right. David Weiss of Delaware and his team of prosecutors were under fire for not making a charging decision in the case because they did it for 5 years. They wanted to finalize the deal in which Hunter was supposed to plead guilty to 2 tax-related misdemeanors in Delaware, admit to the facts of a gun violation, and he would avoid jail time. But Noriega raised the question of immunity. So, let's see. The criminal the three efforts to negotiate a new deal have also found are doomed so far by the federal government's insistence that any immunity offered be narrow, while the FBI keeps investigating Hunter's work for foreign entities, and he wants to put his defense wants to put anything they can behind him. So Weiss asked Merrick Garland to make him special counsel, and so now they keep saying there's an ongoing tax investigation, and so now they don't have to turn anything over to Congress because they say, well, it's an investigation, we can't turn it over to you. So that's going to happen. They're just going to say that forever and ever and ever and hope that they win back the House in 2024. And, then they never have to answer questions.
Does, by the way, go to my theory that they put that nonsense in knowing it was going to get trashed, right? Maybe. Just to keep the thing going, right? Just hoping it.
Here we
like
go.
You said, that it disappears.
Libs of Reddit says, the rich people have lawyers, everyone else has the IRS.
Yeah.
Let's see. Also, Chris Christie thinks Trump is afraid of him. I don't know if Chris Christie really believes that. I think Chris Christie says that, but I don't know if he really believes that.
That's politics.
Porch View Farm, John, that's you, is correct. At this point, I will write the guy in just to give these people the bird. Greg, Trump's poll numbers are skyrocketing because most everyone realizes his detractors are totally corrupt. But everything that we're talking about here, people see this. Now, you didn't know about the plea deal, but, and so a lot of Americans probably don't, especially if they watch, MSNBC or CNN or those types of things. Although Jake Tapper on CNN has been kind of saying the quiet part out loud lately about Biden. So that's kind of interesting. But people kind of see, I think most people, except for the true ideologues, see the double system here, the 2-tiered system of justice and what's happening here. And there are people on Twitter, as Libs of TikTok and Gregory and others know, so Barry knows as well, that are sitting there going, I want to see Trump rot in jail in an orange suit. Blah, 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 blah. You're like, just because you don't like him, you think that, his rights should be thrown out the window? Like that doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me. You're for malicious prosecution. He's getting prosecuted for tweeting out to watch an interview he was going to do on a TV show. That's one of the charges against him, was charging that out, was tweeting that out. And all it is saying that he should, because that's part of the conspiracy. And it's crazy. But how can you cheer that?
Bonkers.
And they're like, well, if you obey the law, this will never happen to you. So you have nothing to worry about. I'm like, well, then why have rights at all? Because if you obey the law, it doesn't matter whether you have rights. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Let's go to Libs of Reddit. Trump winning the 2024 election would be the ultimate FU to the Democrats, rhinos, and the media. That's why it's not going to happen. I don't think they let it happen. That's just me.
Oh, I have a healthy chance. Yeah, there's no.
I have a healthy dose of skepticism. Even if he does win, I have a healthy dose of skepticism that they'll allow him to win. I think they are gearing up every dirty trick in the book to try to make sure he doesn't win. All right, my buddy Barry says, Cy Diamond and Barry B, now of New Jersey. Oh, Barry, you're in New Jersey now? Did you move back home? You didn't tell me that. Update, still 22 days in our group Facebook jail. I ain't going out like that. I cheat on my taxes, but nonprofits benefit. Too funny. Barry, text me. Tell me where you are. I wonder if he's down the shore. I wonder if he's down in Tom's River somewhere. I think that's where he is. Okay, so Trump is, along these lines, Trump is surrendering at the Atlanta jail on Thursday. They are making all these defendants post bond like there's some kind of flight risk. That just
Yeah,
goes
they can
to
always
show
argue.
you how ridiculous this is. This is persecution, not prosecution. This is about trying to humiliate them. This isn't about justice. Does anybody honestly think that Donald Trump, who has a Secret Service detail, is going to flee the country? Like, do
No.
you honestly believe that? Where's he going to go? He has a Secret Service detail. He'd
Well,
have to
more.
bring the boys with him. It's so stupid. But
Right,
this
where
is
would he
about
go?
humiliation.
Right, where would he be safe? Where would an ex-president of the United States be safe running from the law?
I
That's
mean,
the implication here, right?
right.
And again, I think he should answer for those charges in Georgia, but they could have owned reconnaissance. I'm pretty sure the Secret Service would have made sure he got where he had to go. I think he'd have been
Right?
okay. Yeah, I think
Yeah, I just so this is not this just goes to show this is about humiliating him. It's about feeding the masses. This is bread and circuses for the braying hounds on the left who just want to see him destroyed. They just hate him so much, which is it's really a mental disorder. It really truly like there's politicians I don't like, but I don't hate them. Like with that guttural, visceral hate that they seem to have.
Yeah, I'm not a
Like
Mitch McConnell fan, but when his brain spattered and he sat there for 5 minutes and stared at a camera, I was kind of worried. I was kind of, like, I hope he's okay. I didn't wish
right.
him ill. I didn't go, I hope that was a stroke and he's dead for his life. I mean, these are human beings, fallible, don't like them, whatever we are
Right.
supposed to still be human.
But like, I don't like Barack Obama, but I didn't like him for 8 years. But I acted like an adult and said, I don't like the guy. I'm not going to vote for the guy. But I didn't sit here with like this venom, and my whole life was consumed with destroying Barack Obama. Like the guy, that bicyclist. You see the bicyclist who lit the Trump sign on fire? Did you see that guy?
No.
You need to get on Twitter more often, dude.
No,
you
but
need
it's
to.
so dumb. Well, I'm trying to avoid this dumbness. This is the whole reason I
No,
got out
but
of political radio.
But it's
These
not dumbness.
knuckleheads
But it's not dumbness. It's kind of you should know. This guy, a bicyclist. This guy, so this guy in North Carolina has a sign that says Trump 24 or Trump 1. It says on, and it's not like it's just like a little lawn sign that says Trump 1. And he's got a flag, and it's under a tree, and it's got a flag hanging. And this bicyclist in broad daylight comes up and stops and starts kicking the sign, trying to destroy the sign, right? And then he takes off. But the guy's got a camera on the sign. Yeah. Because you know that these people are so psycho. Like, I've never torn down a Biden sign. I'm not like, oh, screw him, and torn it down. Because I'm an adult. It's a sign.
Right.
But these people are psycho. So he comes back 4 days later at night or really early in the morning in the same outfit. And he's got tattoos on his arms that you saw the first time, and now you can see because it's ultraviolet, whatever it is, infrared. UV, so you can see because it's at night, UV, whatever, because it's at night. And he comes back, and he's got a lighter, and he lights the sign on fire. Now, he pushes the flag out of the way, but then he rides away. So the flag could have caught on fire, which could have caught the tree on fire, which is up against his house. So people could have died.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So they put it out on Twitter. And, if anybody can find this guy, the homeowner's like, I'll pay $1,000 for the first person who can ID this guy because he committed arson and he could have lit my whole house on fire. And then who was it? Benny Johnson and somebody else each contributed $5,000. Tim Pool each contributed $5,000. So it's $11,000 to get this guy. Twitter found him in less than a day.
Oh, yeah.
Who he was.
Of course.
And he's a lawyer, and he a Democrat, and they found him. But here's the thing: Twitter found this guy in less than 24 hours. The FBI hasn't found the guy who placed the pipe bombs on January 5th.
Probably hired Twitter to find the people who placed the pipe bombs.
You could.
I get your point. I definitely get your point. I'm making the joke.
Like, really? Why do we have the FBI then? If they're that incompetent, why do we have them? Right? Disband them. All right, where are we? Barry is living. Oh, Somerset Barry, got to get together. Thor, you're not wrong. It's Republicans that are trying to steal the next election. You're wrong. It's Republicans that are trying to steal the next election, and they should all post bail like most everyone else. Really, Thor? So should Hunter Biden get a sweetheart deal, or should he do time like a gentleman who was in that judge's courtroom several months before, who spent time, who got sentenced to several years, because the minimum is 5 years in prison for lying on your federal firearms form. So should Hunter be held to the same standard just like everyone else? Because that's what you say here. But you post bail if you're considered a flight risk. Pretty sure Trump's not a flight risk, and not everyone posts bail. People who aren't considered a flight risk don't post bail all the time.
Right.
So sounds good. It doesn't work for me. Greg, will Trump smile when his booking photo is taken? That's what I want to know. I'm so glad you asked this. So here's the thing. Trump wanted his mugshot taken when he went in New York, and he wanted them to put him in cuffs. Secret Service wouldn't allow it.
Oh, that's interesting.
He's no dummy. The left thinks this is going to go viral. It's going to humiliate him. Trump is going to market the crap out of that. Don't you think Trump is going to market the crap out of his mugshot and use it to fund his campaign and his legal fees and everything else? Of course he is. I want him to give thumbs up in his mugshot.
Look, even if they took a normal, legit, like every criminal mugshot, even that he would use.
100%. They're so stupid. They are so consumed with hatred that they don't see what they're doing, which kind of makes me happy. Like that kind of, I kind of like that they don't see what they're doing, that they just don't see that he's going to play them with this, and it's going to backfire on them.
Like I said, media is going to be the death of us.
Barry says Joe's Meat Market kick-ass made to diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Oh my God, they got a Cuban sandwich.
Hooked on Cuban sandwich and chicken marsala. I don't even know where Joe's Meat Market is. I assume it's in Somerset somewhere. I have no idea, Barry.
And I will now look it up. Thank you, sir.
Porsche, my husband thinks Trump should use a bail bondsman just to add to the farce. Yes! That's awesome. That would be great. He should demand that they put him in a jumpsuit, that they put cuffs on him, they take the mugshot, the whole bit, because he is going to make this the circus that it is. And they think it's going to humiliate him, and he is going to suck this up, and he is going to spit it out back at them. I love it. I love it. Let's see. Gregory noticed he has 90 indictments and not one mug. He's commander-in-chief and military in U.S. in control. Never interfere with enemy while they self-destroy in front of the world's eyes. Exactly. When your enemy is destroying himself, let him go. Let him do it. Libs at Reddit. We also don't know whose cocaine it was at the White House. So when I was doing a show last week, it wasn't last week because I was on vacation. Maybe so. It was just before I went on vacation. Yes, it was on doing Brian Kilmeade's show. So 3 different sources told Soldier of Fortune. Is that the magazine?
Yeah, it's a magazine. Yep, it's a military magazine. Yep.
3 different sources who are confirmed by Soldier of Fortune magazines that they are legit intel sources. Said that they know whose cocaine it is, and it is someone within the Biden's circle, but not Hunter.
That's not shocking.
And Congress, Republicans FOIA'd the information. Capitol Police will not release it. Even though it's public record, they won't release it. Well, they won't release it. Let's go to Getter. Monkey Bot me thinks that a Trump mugshot T-shirt would quickly outsell Che shirts, Che Guevara shirts. And the best thing is both sides are going to sell them. Democrats are going to sell them thinking like, woohoo, Trump, and Republicans 100%. Are going to wear it ironically going, uh-huh.
It's going to be the hottest shirt of the summer if it happens. It is going to be the hottest shirt, or the winter, or whatever comes out.
But the funniest thing is both sides are going to be wearing them. Yeah, that's the funniest part of the whole thing.
You're going to see a fist fight with a Trump supporter and a Biden supporter, and they're going to be wearing the same shirt.
Yeah.
That meme will be the greatest one ever. Yeah.
That's so true, Monkey Bop. That is so true. That's going to be the hot. Everybody's getting it for Christmas. I know what I'm getting you for Christmas. Libs at Reddit. Think about it. Trump will have his own prison if he's arrested because he still gets Secret Service protection.
Yeah, I don't. But look, even no matter which one of these, if any of these, he becomes, they find him guilty. there's no way they put an ex-president in jail, right?
If they
it just
find
doesn't.
him no.
There's no way. There just
I
isn't.
do see, I see the left trying to imprison him because listen, that chick Fannie Willis, she's a drama queen. You know, she kept putting out things, we're going to indict him soon. And then they put up the gates around, the fences around. So everybody's like, oh, focus on Fannie Willis. She's going to indict president soon. The guards and barriers have gone up and then nothing happened. Then she's like, well, it's going to happen in August and everybody get ready. And then she's got these like glamour shot pictures. Have you seen of her like sitting, posing? You know, there she is. You know,
Yes.
so she's got all that crap going on. She's doing this for higher aspiration. She's trying to get her Democrat bona fides so she can, you know, go on to another position. She doesn't care. She wants all 19 defendants tried at the same time. We're gonna put them in a cage in the back of the room, like Mexico or like some third world country. She thinks there's just gonna be one big group indictment. That's what she thinks. And I think she knows that's not going to happen. She knows that most of these counts are BS. She knows that, but this isn't about justice. It's about raising her profile and humiliating Trump.
We're talking about January 6th. That's the one you're talking about, right? Yeah.
No, I'm talking about Fannie Willis in Florida with overturning the election.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's what that's about.
Yeah.
So if she can jail Trump, she will jail Trump. She absolutely will insist that he sit in jail. It's exactly what's going to happen. They are trying to hobble him before the election so that he can't run. This is what they're trying to do because they look at his popularity and they know Biden is a doddering old fool and everybody's seeing it, especially with the disgrace in Hawaii. So she's doing her best to try to incapacitate him before the election. So's Jack Smith. Jack Smith could have brought those charges 2 years ago and he didn't. Why? Because he's waiting for before the election. That's what this is about. It's election interference, courtesy of the American taxpayer.
Well, George is nothing to laugh
at. Greg, thumbs up. Brilliant. Yes, in his mugshot. Thumbs up. Porch View says, look what we made Pakistan do to Imran Khan. He's in jail. That's right. Barry, Gregory, we will, I think, win this battle. Hawaii's a test run. We need to keep an eye on it. Thanks for the kudos. You left some words out in that one, Bear. Just saying, you might want to stop that.
Or if you ever want to hang out, you know, same.
I went to school with Barry. He's a lot of fun. He didn't know me in high school because he was cooler than me in high school. So Barry and I didn't hang out. Barry was cooler than me. So, okay, let's see. I just highlight some stuff here. Okay. Okay, one more thing. There's a couple things I want to get to, and then we're gonna talk about the Richmond, north of Richmond. I do have the video. We're gonna play it because he's not owned by anybody like Sony or anything, so I think we can play it without getting dinged. Hopefully. Yeah. So I posted last week on Twitter that I just had this feeling. I'm like, methinks that COVID's making a comeback. Lockdowns are coming back. There's a disturbance in the force. There's something in the air. And all these libs are like, oh, you're such a Trump troll. Oh, you're blah, blah, blah. Well, what has happened this week? Rutgers is insisting that students be vaccinated again for COVID before they can come back to school. And there's something like another 100 colleges that are doing that. You've got, there's a college in down south in Georgia that's requiring students to wear masks. You've got Lionsgate, the movie company. All employees now have to wear masks at work. You're starting to see now hospitals talking about making employees go back to the N95 masks. That whole ridiculous thing is coming back. It's like I'm psychic.
Can I raise a question?
Yes.
Is there a COVID problem I missed out on? I know I missed some stuff, but I mean, are 5 million people suddenly in America stricken with COVID that's really deadly and we're all going to die? Oh, no. Okay. I'm just curious if I missed something that would make anybody have to go through all that because. Well,
the administration now, as of today, is pushing to get Americans to get COVID-19. If you've only gotten 4, it's time for your 5th booster, you know. Because what could possibly go wrong if you keep pumping that stuff into your body? Yeah. I mean, you do you, whatever. The CDC has reported an increase in COVID-19 across the U.S., but it's far below the level seen during the pandemic. which right now in Australia, where it's winter, they're having a flu pandemic right now. They're having a flu epidemic down there.
Yeah.
That's what they're going through. Not COVID, flu.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not mandating these kids get a flu vaccine. They're mandating that they get a COVID vaccine in this country because we have lost our minds over COVID. And the government has realized that there is a good chunk of the population that you can scare. There are still people wandering around in masks. Still. Like, why?
I still see people wearing them in their car.
Okay, well, you know what?
I'm not even joking. I just the other day, me and Ringo saw a weird, like, pulled up right next to a woman alone in her car with a fancy, funny little mask. You know.
Yeah.
Not an N95, by the way. You know, one of those cute little clothy ones that look. That just
it has a hole at the top and the hole on the sides that do absolutely nothing. Nothing. Right. They do nothing for you. It's virtue signaling and control, power and control. That's what it is. Tina says, everyone's talking about Trump, and here I am reading it, realizing it's less than 2 months till our wedding. Aw, yay. Barry says, we'll do, my man. So there you go, James.
I knew I liked this guy.
So they're reporting an increase. We're encouraging all Americans to get those boosters in addition to flu shots and RSV shots, which RSV primarily attacks younger people. You know, for whatever reason, young people, the kids, don't get COVID. And if they get COVID, they are less likely to pass it on. And for whatever reason, they really don't show symptoms. They're symptomless. But some things attack young people, some things attack older people, right? So if you're really old, like my friend Rhoda, I was talking to her today. She's like, I don't know about this RSV vaccine. I'm kind of tired of getting shots every time I go to the doctor. I'm like, well, you just turned 92. You know, when you're 92, I kind of think you should probably get the flu shot because that can kill you when you're 92.
That's definitely.
And you should probably get the COVID. And I think she's had like 3. She's a COVID and 2 boosters, or 2 COVID shots and 2 boosters, whatever. You know. Well, she's a liberal. She's a Democrat. Right. And she's like, they told me I got to ask her doctor. She loves him. And he tells her to get it, her Dr. Cole. If he tells her to get it, she's going to get it because she trusts him. And I'm like, okay, because he's cute. I'm like, all right, Rhoda, whatever makes you happy, honey. You know,
yeah, right,
92, you do what you want, yeah. Right? So that's what they want Americans to get, because there's a newly discovered variant referred to BA286 and has been designated as a variant under monitoring by the World Health Organization due to the large number of mutations it carries. Here's the thing. It's going to be like the flu, and we're going to get to the point in this country where the flu vaccine some years is 30% effective. Some years it's 60% effective. It all depends because they have to guess how it's going to mutate and what the mutations are going to be. The same thing's happening with COVID. It's a virus. It's going to constantly mutate because it wants to continue to live. So it has to mutate to avoid the effectiveness of the vaccines, right? So that's what it does.
Look, this is real simple. Pharmaceutical companies are smart enough to understand, right? Just like they were that pain was never going to go away. And then they faked pain drugs and all the nonsense that went through and all the government people that let it happen. We all know that story. Well, it's going to be no different for COVID. It's never going away. So they'll always have a constant source of paranoid people who are willing to buy into the idea that you need to massively protect yourself from this. Look, I work in an Order 55 community. I watched it go through from floors, still does. There's still times when 7 or 8 people have it on a floor and they got to isolate a little bit to keep it from going through. But, you know, they do the same thing with all kinds of sicknesses there. That's just what it's going to become. Another sickness that's never going away. And it's not at a point where it's killing us. But the drug companies will always prey on your paranoia. And the government will love that because they're all making money on the drug companies. So, ha ha ha.
Right. No, here. Barry says there's a 99.9% cure rate, 100% cure rate with booze and weed. Barry. Oh, hey, hold on. Wait. Don't walk on the keyboard, please. I got a cat. Hold on.
That's okay. It's okay. Here, I was going to say, think all the stuff that came true that they bashed Joe Rogan for.
Yeah.
All that stuff that he got vilified for, and all the stuff they found out about natural immunity, all the stuff they found out about different drugs that he tried out that weren't going to kill you, and all the stuff about being healthy. He got vilified, and him, and by the way, not just him, but he's just a giant mouthpiece, but several people all tried to say that stuff. And then it turns out Fauci's kind of a piece of shit, and these people are right. So,
yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah, Gary
Who
says
knew?
Gary's like, and we all know how forthright the World Health Organization is.
Right. Right. Look, if there's money to be made, it's never going to go away. There's always going to be people
Right.
trying to make that money. And they're
Yeah.
making that money, right? Every time they get a new vaccine, how many gazillions of dollars do they start?
So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. If we go back to the whole, you're barred from public life if you don't have your papers to prove that you're vaccinated and all that stuff, and they want us to wear masks again, all that. Do you see Americans going for round two?
I don't even know if liberals will go for round two. I mean, the Uber, San Francisco liberals or whatever. But I mean, your regular humans, all the ones I know who are even pretty liberal, all secretly, just like there's some Republicans who secretly are like, I don't know if Trump's really my guy or whatever, but they don't want to be out in public about it. Well, that's how a lot of liberals are about COVID. They sit behind closed doors, especially now that I've worked with nurses, and they're like,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see. I barely listen in New Jersey because we got hit really early. We got hit early on in the whole thing. And I remember I was pretty much over it by April of 2020. We were like, okay, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. And I knew it wasn't serious because they were making laws like 2020 was the summer of love and none of the rioters needed to be masked.
Right.
So I'm like, And remember, you could have, there were pictures of like Governor Murphy, the wonderful governor of New Jersey, arm in arm with Black Lives Matter protesters, and nobody's masked. And you couldn't have a gathering. I couldn't have a party. Remember, the police were supposed to break up parties and things like that if it was a gathering of more than 10 people, unless it's a political event, in which case you can have more than 10 people. I'm like, oh, so COVID doesn't attack political events. Oh, okay, I get it now. So that's how I knew it was all BS. I knew it was BS when we were bringing in people into the country illegally, not asking if they had their COVID vaccines, not asking for anything having to do with their health. We weren't testing them, and we're putting them on airplanes with no ID, and we don't know if they're full of COVID.
Yep. Look, I'm not saying
it was all BS.
Look, I'm not saying it wasn't deadly. Lots of people died. We just handled it really poorly, and maybe in a way that was not to anybody's benefit, right? Or only to people's benefit who had a way to, let's say, maybe make money or to get something past them. I'm certain we could have handled the problem better.
Well, the other problem is that, first of all, we are now the only, if one of the only, very few countries that counted deaths with COVID the same as deaths from COVID to inflate the numbers. And that's just lying. That's just bad science, Dr. Fauci. We also, for whatever reason, don't recognize acquired immunity. If you had COVID, they're saying now that your immunity can last for months and months and months, where the shot, some of them are as little as 3 months. But if you want to go to Rutgers and you had COVID, they don't give you any credit for that. You still have to get the vaccine. And that's the state. It's the State University of New Jersey. So this is the state of New Jersey's health department that's doing this.
Right. Look, if they had meant it, they'd have said everybody has to wear N95 masks. You can't. None of that cloth mask crap would count.
Right.
And they would have been, if they were serious, they would have told people you need to get healthy. You need to work on your immune system. Look, it was always going to, whether numbers are inflated or not, none of that matters to me. Point is, this was always going to burn through the country and do exactly what it did. It's how we handled it that was so poorly. They didn't. I don't know if they saved anybody. And in fact, in some cases, they probably hurt people. Look what the lockdowns did to China. China did all those lockdowns, right? For all that time, it quote unquote went away. These people came out with no immunity whatsoever to anything. And then all those people died. Death. Didn't do squat.
Governor Murphy put senior citizens back in the nursing homes. Yeah. Right? How many senior citizens died because of that? All right. Porch View Farm says, I don't have television. Wow. So I've never been worried about COVID. Mask people worry me. Yes, they do. I just look at that as a tattoo that just says I'm a stupid liberal. And I try to sometimes give them the benefit of the doubt, like maybe they have some kind of an issue health-wise. But before COVID, people with health issues didn't run around wearing masks. So
hey, what about the bird flu pandemic? Remember that one?
Yeah.
Famous person, a famous comedian named Bert Kreischer got it. He talks all about how bad it was, how sick he was. He almost died. I don't remember back then there being like this massive lockdown panic, and that killed people.
Nope.
People got hurt. People got real sick.
Well,
I don't know. It just seems like I don't know.
Well, mark my words, this is going to ramp up just in time before the election. That's exactly what's going to happen. It gives them, then they can change all the rules for voting again, just like they did last time. They're going to do it last minute. It's not going to go through the state legislatures. So all those changes are going to be illegal. But it's, extraordinary times. And, the mail-in ballots and all this other stuff is what's going to happen. Peter, our new subscriber, says, right, they're all saying never trust yourself. What? Okay, we got to move along here because we're coming up on the end, and we're getting late here. But I want to share this with you. All right, okay. So let me put this up here. So I don't know. I'm sure most people have seen this, but in case you haven't, I want you to listen to this, and I'm going to tell you about this song, and it has broken records. Now I got to tell you, I get the message. I don't think he's that great of a singer. People are like, he's like Chris Stapleton. I'm like, I don't know. I love Chris Stapleton, but you can judge for yourself.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me. People like you, wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. 'Cause the rich men, cause the rich men. I wish politicians look out for minors, not just minors on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. 'Cause the rich men north of Richmond. I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
All right. So what did you think?
I think he's saying the thing that I've been saying for such a long time. The rich keep getting everything, and the poor have nothing, and the government wants control.
So, listen to this. He's made history. This guy, Oliver Anthony, his real name is Christopher Anthony Lunsford. He's like 30 years old, by the way.
Wow. He's an old soul, all right.
Yeah, and he's his first two entries on the Billboard chart, Richmond, North of Richmond, launched at number 1.
Yeah,
And he's got another song called Ain't Got a Dollar, and that's at number 82 right now. So good people are checking out the rest of his music now, right?
yeah.
He self-released Richmond, North of Richmond, August 11th. It's gotten 17.5 million US streams, 147,000 downloads, sold in the tracking week ending August 17th. It was not promoted to radio, and it made a tally 553,000 radio airplay audience impressions, 516,000 on country stations. So not all of them are on country stations. The song concurrently debuts at numbers 1 and 4 on the all genre digital song sales and streaming songs charts, as well as number 1 on the Hot Country Songs survey. He's the 6th artist to debut a first solo Hot 100 entry at number 1. Let's see. Dollar, his other song. What is it? What did I say? It was Ain't Got a Dollar. Self-released was self-released September of last year. It debuts with 3.5 million US streams, 17,000 sold, and it starts at number 2 on the digital song sales and 21 on Hot Country Songs. Before this week, he had never appeared on a Billboard chart. That makes him the first act to open at number 1 on the Hot 100.
Finally,
So
somebody.
he beat out Elvis, he beat out the Beatles, he beat out all those people with
And the
this song.
system.
And the system. Right. The Radio WV YouTube account, which spotlights unsigned Americana and country acts in the Virginia, West Virginia region, posted Richmond August 11th. The song has drawn both praise from the right, opposition from the left. Let's see. He on the country specific country digital song sales chart, he charts 13 songs, including 6 in the top 10. And this is all just happening. He's just the 4th artist to log that many titles in the top 10 simultaneously after Kenny Rogers, Taylor Swift, and Luke Combs.
You know, I'm missing some. You notice he never said Republican or Democrat in there, anti-liberal at all. It sounds a lot like poor people unite because rich people are ruining America. That's kind of what the feel of that song is. I don't understand what the opposition is.
Well, the opposition...
maybe it was that taking down the statues line. If that's the only line I heard in that thing that I thought, oh, I'll bet there's a liberal angry at that.
Well, Rainn Wilson, who played Dwight on The Office, he said, you know, if I had written that song, I wouldn't have included something about 300-pound people, you know, wanting, you know, not paying for their whatever he says, paying for their fudge rounds.
So it's not the most PC song on the planet,
But do you expect a country song to be PC? And you know what? I have been on YouTube and I watched a lot of the reactions from this, and people across, and there's actually a compilation of blacks, whites, Asians, all sorts of people watching this song and doing reaction videos that they do on YouTube all the time. And it's amazing. It was amazing. Nobody said anything bad about the song. It was like, yeah, that's exactly. This is what everyone's talking about. Now, do you think he's a good artist, a singer? I mean, the song is fine. In general, like the song is not something that I'm like, oh, that's a great, you know. To me, it's not like Jason Aldean, Try That in a Small Town. That to me is a little bit more, I don't know, more appealing to me. The song itself, the tune, the whole bit, whereas this isn't.
I'm the 100% opposite. But
opposite.
Yeah, no, I like this song. I like this guy. I like that acoustic feel, that real acoustic, that down-home feel. Got like a bluegrassy country.
Bluegrass,
yeah. It's got that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in.
I see that. I just think on the video, he just looks like he's one of those people who sings like this, like, you know, like he's in pain all the time. And I'm like, dude, totally get something for that. You know, if you're constipated, we can help you. You know, like he just has that I'm in pain, constipated look about him.
Or a fifth of moonshine, right? He's in that backwoods there. Because his eyes are like slightly glazed over. You know, oh no, man! You know, he's really like working it because he's a little over the line there. But I like the song, and I really dig the song. I think it's a good song.
Yeah. So I don't know. I wonder if in this country in general, we're turning a point because, I keep being told that Bidenomics is great and it's wonderful and it's the best economy ever in my lifetime, which if I was born yesterday, maybe, but I don't think this is the best economy in my lifetime. They're like, oh, people are making more money. For the first time since Trump did it, yes, people are starting to make more money, but inflation has gone up higher than the wages, so you're still losing money. So that's great, but they don't tell you the other half of that equation. Because I think most people, you could tell me that Bidenomics is great and this is fantastic and this is what, all this other stuff. And Joe Biden and inflation and gas prices are down. Yes, but they're still more than I was paying 3 years ago. So they may be down from the all-time high under your administration, but it's still more than I was paying under the last guy. I think maybe, I don't know, maybe we're turning a point where the vast majority of Americans are doing what you said. It's not about a personality at this point. It's not about a certain person. It's about like, hey, who's going to do the best thing for me, whether they have a D or an R after their last name. It's about, my personal wallet, maybe.
And the opposite, shouldn't it be that when you're a politician, everybody's your constituents once you're in, right? That used to be how it was. You ran the race, one right. side or the other run. But once you were in, your job was to serve your people, the people, us, the people paying you, right? That's right. What it was supposed to be about. That DNR is only supposed to be like an idea to get, I'm sort of this way and I'm sort of this way. And which of these two do you like? Okay, now do the job, right? That's the point. And we're far.
Well, and Biden was going to be the great uniter, and then he gets up there and he bashes Trump followers as mega MAGA Republicans and all this extra stuff. I'm like, wait, I thought you were the great uniter. What just happened? And Ron DeSantis calling Trump supporters empty vessels. I'm like, dude, why didn't you just call them a basket of deplorables?
Hey, like, at least Christie's just out there going, these are the facts as I see it. He's not calling Trump supporters terrible humans. He's not, and I'm not the big Christie fan. Look, I understand the jersey. You don't have to convince me. There's no need to go anywhere where you're going. I'm just saying, at least his message is, this is what I see. This is what I believe. This is what's going on. Go.
His message is, listen, Chris Christie's message is, I'm aggrieved because Trump didn't make me his AG, so I hate Donald Trump. Donald Trump sucks. And Chris Christie and Rudy Giuliani are the ones who prepped Donald Trump for his debates with Joe Biden. And they told him to go hard after Joe Biden because Joe Biden will get mad, Joe Biden will get angry. So Trump wound up coming as a very unlikable, mean guy because of Rudy Giuliani and Chris Christie. But Chris Christie's on like the biggest temper tantrum, the biggest grievance tour about how terrible Trump is. I'm like, who's funding this man? Stop. I don't want to hear it from him. I don't want to hear Trump complain about the 2020 election. I get it. You think it was stolen. A lot of people agree with you. This is your second shot. Shut up about that and please tell me what you're going to do. I want to hear positive messages. One of the reasons I kind of like Vivek Ramaswamy, kind of like the guy. Because he's not on a grievance tour. He seems to actually be happy. He's like what Rush Limbaugh used to call a happy warrior, right? Like that's how he comes across. That's what I want. That's what I want.
Is he the CIA guy?
No, he's a billionaire business owner. Everybody's like, oh, he's in bed with a biochemical or bioengineering or whatever. He's in bed with the pharmaceutical companies. Okay, first of all, I don't think everybody in the pharmaceutical companies are bad. I think the entity may be bad, but I don't think they're all bad. And if he made billions off of working with them, okay. I mean, if you work for Ford or GM, does that mean you're in bed with Big Car or whatever? It's stupid. I find that argument kind of dumb.
Yeah. So
that's that. All right. We are going to leave here. We're going to leave you. Thank you so much for joining us because we ran a couple minutes over. So please subscribe to the channel. Please like the videos. You can go back and watch old ones. You can go back and listen to old ones on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Lots of guests that we've had in the past. We've been a little guest dry lately. I'm hoping it's just the summer.
Yeah, it's the summer.
Nobody's around. Everybody's vacationing. So hopefully it's just the summer. We'll try to hopefully get some guests on again soon. Tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, I will be on WPHT in for Rich Zioli from 3 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time, PHT 1210 in Philadelphia. It's on the Odyssey app, or you can just go to 1210 PHT and you can listen online. Thursday, the day after the debate, I will be in for David Webb, 9 a.m. to noon on Sirius XM Patriot Channel 125, and then, of course, 3 to 7 in for Rich Scioli. And that's that. You got anything? What's your podcast again, James?
South Jersey Beer Scene, Vic's Basement Brewcast. Or South Jersey Beer Scene presents Vic's Basement Brewcast.
Vic's Basement Brewcast.
Vic's
you need to enunciate.
Basement Brewcast.
Yes, you need to. There you go. That's what you need to do. You need to enunciate that, dude.
That's a good plan. I got somebody trying to distract me, so.
Gee, what a shock. So, okay. The short attention span twins are in the house, so. We'll see you next week. We will be back next week. Also, next Monday, I should be on the Chris Salcedo Show on Newsmax TV, usually between 4:30 and 5 o'clock Eastern Time. Thank you to everybody for joining us. Really love you. Appreciate you. Tell your friends and have a fantastic week. Bye.